If you've got Hashimoto's thyroiditis and also hypothyroidism, what's going to happen to your body if it's left untreated? What sort of damage can your body go through? Most importantly, how can you prevent and reverse that damage so things just don't go out of balance completely? Well, this is exactly what we are exploring in my video today, and as well as understanding what's going to happen if it's left untreated, I'll give you a plan to help you start reversing Hashimoto's naturally, start regaining your strength, recreating your body, and living that high energy, slim and fit life. Let's get started. Hey, Yulia Tabet here, and together with my husband Paul Tabet, we are here to help you create healthy hormones, healthy body, and the life of your dreams naturally. If you are on YouTube and you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe and hit the bell to stay up to date with our latest videos. The truth is, if you've got hypothyroidism, then it's probably about 80% likelihood that you've also got Hashimoto's. And if you've got Hashimoto's, if it's left untreated, then really serious things can happen. So as you know, Hashimoto's thyroiditis is an autoimmune disease, and there are debates whether it's your body attacking your thyroid or whether it's to do with viruses and pathogens, and whatever it is, your thyroid gland is being damaged every single day, and that damage just keeps on piling up. So it keeps on happening. Hashimoto's thyroiditis, just like all autoimmune diseases, are progressive diseases. And that means that they'll progress from one stage onto another, onto the next, onto the end, and onto the next, until that organ is damaged. And until, while you've got it, you've got your thyroid inside of your body, it's just not working anymore. Yes, so it's gone through so much irreversible, sometimes unfortunately that damage is irreversible as well, that you know, there's nothing you can do about it. So there are 4 stages, and you need to know them. You need to know about these stages. You need to realize of how your Hashimoto's thyroiditis disease progresses. The first stage is genetic predisposition. So what that means is that Hashimoto's thyroiditis, hypothyroidism is in your family. So that's the first stage. And at that stage, what's going to happen is your Hashimoto's will wait for a trigger in your life. Yes, so it's there, and it's fine unless it gets triggered. So that trigger is likely to be stress, is likely to be nutrition. So you just constantly bombard your body with so much toxins and a lot of inflammatory foods. You eat it all the time and it gets triggered. So it just triggers that mechanism. Yes, so it can also be infections. It can also be different viruses in your body that can trigger it. So it's waiting for that trigger. So it's there. It's waiting for that trigger. At that stage, I wish people were educated and people knew how to take care of their body to prevent that nightmare that they can go through unless they address that stage. So the first stage of your Hashimoto's is that genetic predisposition. So now if you've got it in your family, then you're more genetically predisposed to getting it. So the second stage from there is going to be elevated antibodies. So your antibodies start to get elevated. So obviously there is inflammation in the body and there is autoimmunity happening in the body, and that unfortunately does not often get diagnosed, because what the doctors check for is a regular thyroid panel, and your thyroid's not going to go out of balance until enough damage has been done to it by Hashimoto's autoimmune disease. So at that stage, what you can do is to do a thyroid ultrasound scan, and that ultrasound scan can pick up Hashimoto's, early stages of Hashimoto's. So then the antibodies start to rise as well. So that's Hashimoto's. So Hashimoto's comes about first, yes? And then it starts to damage your thyroid. So it progresses onto the third stage, and the third stage is when your thyroid goes out of balance. So your TSH is too high, and at this stage maybe your T3 and T4 levels are still fine. So it's more like subclinical hypothyroidism that you're experiencing. So it progresses. Damage is being done already to your thyroid. And let's say it stays untreated and it carries on. Well, it's going to progress onto the next stage, so the fourth stage. The fourth stage is a very unfortunate one, and that is thyroid gland failure. So that is the stage when people start to experience nodules and thyroid cancer, and when a lot of doctors will recommend you taking the whole thing out of, let's just cut the whole thing out. And whether doctors medicate it or whether doctors take it out, because let's face it, there are only two things they can do with you in the medical world: medicate you or operate on you. There is no in between. There's no alternative holistic approach, unfortunately. So whatever they choose, whether they choose to medicate you or operate on you, that is not going to remove the root cause, which is Hashimoto's. So at that stage, if you go to the fourth stage, you are already experiencing failure to your thyroid glands. And I really don't want you to get to that stage. And there is a way for you to not get to that stage. At that stage, restoring the damage that's been done to your thyroid tissues is going to be difficult. So just know that it's going to be difficult to restore damage that's been done to your thyroid tissue. Now, the next stage, as it progresses onto other autoimmune diseases: MS, lupus, just some of them, rheumatoid arthritis, and many others. And the unfortunate reality is, by the time it's gone that far and your thyroid has already been damaged and it's progressing onto other organs in the body, a lot of people will experience severe distraction to their life. So we've worked with clients who came to us in wheelchairs, for example, with autoimmune because they couldn't function, or they couldn't get out of bed, or they could no longer function. So that is not the stage that you want to get to. And that is why reversing your Hashimoto's is so important. It's so vital. It's something that you have to prioritize. And I hope me explaining all the stages of hypothyroidism and Hashimoto's making you realize that you have to take action. So stay with me, because we're gonna be covering more how you can take action. So when your thyroid gets damaged, when you have Hashimoto's, that's the longer you leave it, the more difficult it is going to be to reverse the damage that is done to your organs, to your body. And the sooner you get started, the better it is. So the moment that your antibodies are elevated, so let's say it's above 100, so your antibodies, you've tested your antibodies, ideally they should be as close to zero as possible. Under 35, well, quite a lot of population has it within that range, 35 and under. But if it's over 35, then you know that you've got Hashimoto's, you need to start working on reversing it. And if it's above 200, especially 500, that's a very aggressive form of autoimmune. That means that your body is on fire from inflammation and you need to work on reversing it. So what do you need to do? Well, the steps first, we've already created tons of videos about it, and I'm gonna put them in the description section, and you can go to all the videos and watch them, because there are videos about how to do it. But in a nutshell, so you understand the process, it's going to be first removing the root cause of your inflammation, and that is going to be nutrition, that is going to be deficiencies, correcting deficiencies in your body, that is going to be addressing your gut health, that is going to be working with viruses and pathogens in your body and any infections in your body and toxins in your body. That is going to be making other lifestyle changes that can help you start reversing autoimmune disease. This is how I reversed my Hashimoto's, or sent it into remission. Yes. So this is how we've helped hundreds of our clients do the same. And the most beautiful thing is, as you do so, all those symptoms like fatigue, hair loss, and you feeling low libido, and all those symptoms start to fade away, and you start to experience a different life, a different quality of life. So it is all possible, but you have to work on the root causes. Now, the lifestyle plan, the dietary plan that we know works best and has also been scientifically proven to work well for hypothyroidism, for Hashimoto's, autoimmune disease is going to be a high carbohydrate, plant foods lifestyle. So it is anti-inflammatory. You're eating a lot of fruits in your diet, which is so amazing for helping you cleanse your body and cleanse your liver, which is so important when it comes to restoring autoimmune disease. And as well as that, you're eating leafy green vegetables and plenty of living raw foods, and you're also eating some other foods that can help you, plant foods that can help you rebuild your body and rebuild your health. But if you keep in it high carbohydrates and eating sufficient amount of fat but not high levels of fat, you are excluding all the inflammatory foods, so you're leading an anti-inflammatory lifestyle, and you are building your body. So whatever it is that's nutrient deficiencies, you're addressing that, and you're rebuilding your gut health, you're rebuilding your liver health, and that's the pathway to help you reverse, not only reverse Hashimoto's, but hopefully also undo some of the damage. Yes, unfortunately, some of us will have experienced permanent damage, and you can improve it and you can work on it, and you can always strive towards, doing it and feeling better and using different alternative therapies. But you don't want to get to that stage. You don't want to get to the stage where your thyroid is failing and where that organ is no longer functioning. So the good news is that you can take the steps now, and by you taking the steps now, it can be your restoration can be a couple of years away. Yes, thankfully with our clients, with a lot of our clients that we've worked, they were able to start reversing their antibodies within 30 to 60 days. Some of our clients who came to us with really high antibodies of 5,000, that took them longer, about 6 months. But know that restoration and that you improving your thyroid and reversing your antibodies, that's going to take time. So this is why now is the best time to do it. And if you know that you are ready to do it and you want help, you want a plan, you want accountability, you want to make sure that you're following the right system, let's jump on a call together. So all you need to do is click on the link that you are seeing on the screen in the description section, go to our calendar and grab yourself a free 15-minute slot with us. We'll talk to you, we'll see if or how we can help, and if your condition is something that can be restored and reversed. So the link for that is wellnessdesignsolutions.com/apply. Now, we've also got a free online masterclass that we've put together and has been watched by thousands of our clients, and that training class will help you work on restoring your hormonal imbalances, reversing your Hashimoto's, and rebuilding that body that you want to live in. So the link for that is wellnessdesignsolutions.com/class. Again, go grab your spot. So whichever these two options work best for you, we're happy to support you. Thank you so much for joining me for this video, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one.